Live from the CBS Broadcast Center, this is CBS2 News at 11.
The snow may not be falling yet, but the plows are already rolling. This as we prepare for a 1-2 punch of winter weather. And that first round just beginning to arrive in parts of the tri-state area. Good evening. I'm Christine Johnson.
And I'm Maurice Dubois, right now on CBS2 and streaming on CBSN New York. Team coverage of those two winter storms that have some officials warning drivers to stay off the roads.
We begin with Lonnie Quinn, live in the Storm Watch Center. Lonnie, you just posted your updated forecast.
Well, because I finally, Christine, have some snowflakes to track. I have not been tracking snow in our area since November. Okay, I mean, think about that. Here's what it looks like as of right now. A bigger picture will show it to you more clearly. Wherever you see the sort of that darker blue color, there is some actual snow falling right now in Orange County, in Sussex County. It's spattered through a little bit through, say, Morris County as well. Let me give you a broader picture here, and you'll see what I'm looking at, because this is your whole system. There will be some breaks as you go through the overnight hours, and there's going to be another little batch that comes through. As a matter of fact, I think this is what it's going to be looking like at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Pretty decent coverage, not terribly strong, but watch how it just sort of falls apart. Maybe ending up with some rain along the coastal areas. We don't pick up too much moisture out of this. It looks really like the numbers are anywhere from a trace going up to 3. A trace is like a kissing cousin to 0 right along the shoreline. But then you could get some 3-inch readings as you get up into the Catskills. 1 to 3 for portions of the city. Again, not too much. I think the city would be definitely closer to that 1-inch range. A winter storm watch has been put into effect. It starts on Saturday afternoon, goes until Sunday afternoon, but that's not for this storm. That's for the other storm that's out like around the West Coast. I will track that one for you. A much bigger player in our area. That's all coming up a little bit later. Let's toss it back to you.
Okay, Lonnie, thank you.
Our Storm Watch team coverage continues on the west side now, where plows are ready to go.
CBS 2's Jessica Layton live. And Jessica, the city under a lot of pressure to keep the streets clear this time around, right?
That's right. Probably more than ever, Christina Maurice. I can tell you right now, and you can see it behind me, these plows, they are in position all throughout all 5 boroughs right now. And these salt spreaders will really start getting to work as soon as the snow starts to fall. This is a double blast of winter that we're about to get. And as you said, the city has got to bring its A game. Plows and salt spreaders already out on the west side ahead of the winter weather 1-2 punch heading this way. As temperatures drop below freezing, city leaders are still taking heat for how they mishandled this storm 2 months ago.
I'm not going to make promises. What I can tell you is we're better prepared for it, and we're doing more.
Why should city residents believe you? Why should city residents believe that the city is prepared this time?
Well, we learned from that event.
Tough lessons came from that November nightmare when a few inches of snow stopped the city in its tracks. A crash closed down the George Washington Bridge at rush hour, crippling traffic for miles, jamming up icy streets so bad plows couldn't even get through. This time, anticipating accidents, city agencies are sending tow trucks to different spots early on, but with a warning.
I am telling you right now, for the event over the weekend, you should not be on the road. We are expecting a challenging event.
Despite the difficulties, the city says it won't be caught off guard, and neither should you.
We want to be messaging to the public. They need to be cautious, and they need to be prepared for the fact that there could be sudden changes.
I asked the Office of Emergency Management where they're planning on putting all those tow trucks. At last check, they told me the specific locations were still being decided. Once again, they are urging people, especially this weekend through Monday, stay off the roads if you can. If you must be out and about, try to use mass transit. Live from the west side tonight, Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Jessica, and this week's storms could affect your travel plans, certainly. Amtrak will have modified service Saturday and Sunday along the entire Northeast corridor between Boston and Washington. Many airlines are waiving change fees to allow travelers to adjust their flights. Governor Cuomo also activated the State Emergency Operations Center to help monitor the storms and keep communities safe. And we've got all those details along with a winter storm survival guide on CBSNewYork.com. And tonight, Mayor de Blasio is warning the government shutdown could hurt nearly 2 million New Yorkers if it doesn't come to an end soon.
They stand to lose federal aid for everything from food stamps to housing. CBS 2's Allie Bauman shows us how some people are now trying to brace themselves and their families.
I don't know how I'm going to survive, even though I work full time.
Omega is a single mother of 6 and among the 1.6 million New Yorkers who could lose their food stamps if the government shutdown continues.
There's no way to look at your child and say, you might have to go to bed hungry tonight, because food stamps stop.
The dire warning from Mayor de Blasio Thursday.
In the entire history of the city, nothing like this has ever happened before.
The mayor says if this shutdown doesn't end by March 1st, New York City will lose $500 million each month in federal aid for food stamps, rental assistance, school lunches, homeless programs, and fighting opioid addiction.
The state of New York will have to start cutting off support because as it loses federal dollars, it cannot turn around those dollars and help localities.
Fear federal workers have had since December, now spreading to the social services office in Greenwich Village.
I'm hearing about the federal workers. They're selling their cars, they're selling their belongings to try to, pay their bills and eat, and I really don't know at this point.
Livonia Miller says losing her subsidized housing and school lunches for 3 children will be crippling.
I would have to, pack food from home, which would take away, from the food that I have at home that I'm trying to feed them with.
The city is sending most food stamp recipients double checks this month to cover people for January and February. But the mayor says that's the last they'll get until the shutdown is over.
The child that's hungry and crying, there's nothing that you could do to satisfy that child but give them something to eat.
You make it people are criminals, they're not criminals. Because they're going to steal, wheel, dealing what they can do to feed their children.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm real worried.
The mayor advises people prepare for the worst.
My cabinets are going to be bare, and
for Omega, the worst is uncertainty. From Greenwich Village, Allie Bauman, CBS 2 News.
New Yorkers experiencing hardships can find resources on our website, cbsnewyork.com.
Tonight, the White House says the president has canceled the U.S. delegation's trip this month to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. It is the latest move in the shutdown battle that today saw the president ratchet things up. CBS 2's Dick Brennan has more.
I'm not for a wall. I'm not for a wall. I'm not for a wall.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a day after she asked the president to postpone the State of the Union address in light of what she calls security concerns due to the government shutdown. No response from the White House until today. Another letter from the president to the speaker this time. He writes, "Due to the shutdown, I'm sorry to inform you that your trip to Brussels, Egypt, and Afghanistan has been postponed. We will reschedule this 7-day excursion when the shutdown is over. Obviously, if you would like to make your journey by flying commercial, that would certainly be your prerogative." Mr. Trump added that he preferred the speaker to remain in Washington to negotiate, and at a speech at the Pentagon, he blamed Pelosi for the shutdown.
Speaker Pelosi will not let them negotiate. The party has been hijacked by the open borders fringe within the party.
The trip cancellation came just about an hour before the flight was set to leave, and some congressional members were already on a bus that would take them to it. The move to deny military aircraft to the speaker, second in line to the presidency and heading to a war zone, left many dumbfounded. Trump ally Lindsey Graham criticized both leaders, tweeting, "One sophomoric response does not deserve another." House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff was supposed to be on the trip.
I can say that all too often in the last 2 years, the president has acted like he's in the 5th grade. And to have someone who has that kind of character running the country is an enormous problem at every level.
A spokesperson for Speaker Pelosi said the trip included a pilot rest stop in Brussels where she'd meet with top NATO commanders. And the Speaker's office said the trip to Afghanistan did not include a stop in Egypt. Dick Brennan, CBS 2 News.
New developments now in the death of a gas station manager on Long Island. Nassau County police say they have a suspect and they consider him armed and dangerous. Police say Joshua Roston ran over 59-year-old Shamal Devigrenren and his Baldwin gas station on Monday to avoid paying for gas. Investigators say that they recovered the GMC Yukon Roston was driving, but they say he has now fled the state.
This individual for $21 ruined a family's life. Took an individual's life at 59 years of age for $21.
Police say Roston has a long criminal history, including stealing gas from another location in the past.
And tragedy for a Brooklyn family, a father making the ultimate sacrifice protecting his daughter. Police say 43-year-old Philip Scarlett was shot to death at the Kingsborough houses in Crown Heights on Sunday. He ran to help when he heard his 14-year-old daughter being confronted in an apparent robbery in the hallway outside his girlfriend's apartment.
And he came out and realized what was going on, and he grabbed her and tossed her in the house, and he was struggling to keep them out of the house, and they yanked him down the stairs and shot him.
His family says they believe he was targeted because he always carried cash, but they don't know if anything was stolen. 2 suspects were seen on security cameras. So far, no arrests have been made.
Still ahead right here in 11, attacked with acid.
Bad doesn't win out. Don't ever, ever, ever give up.
Showing courage and strength, a survivor shares her story only with CBS2.
And it's more than just keeping your house clean, how household chores could be good for your health.
And this weekend's big storm is most likely going to put some double digits down in terms of snowfall, accumulations in portions of our area, but some areas get very little. I want to spend some time talking about whether you get a lot, whether you get a little, while this can be a big storm and can affect you in some rough ways with some ice after the break.